Hi, my name is Paul Henninger. I'm Managing Director and Head of the Fraud Practice at Exzac Consulting. One of the more interesting types of fraud we've seen recently is a form of tax fraud in which a criminal will steal someone's identity and file a return on behalf of that person, obviously unbeknownst to the victim. The reason the criminals do this is they can get the proceeds from the tax return just like a normal person would, and it's a way of essentially stealing money from the government. There's a few different problems with this type of fraud. First of all, there's been hundreds of thousands of these attacks in 2011, resulting in literally hundreds of millions of dollars of losses of tax funds paid out to people fraudulently. So there's a significant economic impact on the government and by extension on the victims and taxpayers who that money comes from. The second problem is that the only way to unwind this problem that the IRS has is to put a person through an audit. What tends to happen is the criminal will file a tax return, the legitimate individual will file a tax return, and the only way the IRS has to figure out what happened is to audit the actual legitimate person, which obviously is a huge amount of time and resources invested in getting yourself unwound from that. The third problem is a regulatory problem that's been created. Typically the way these criminals get the funds is by going to a tax preparation service, and these tax preparation services, as a service to their customers, their legitimate customers, will give you a refund very quickly in the form of a prepaid debit card. The criminals like this because they can walk out of the office that day or the next day with the funds and use them immediately. The problem is that typically the financial institution that's issuing the prepaid debit card is supposed to have performed a know your customer check to make sure the person is who that they say they are and that they're not a terrorist, etc. And in these cases, it appears that not all of those institutions issuing those cards were performing a very stringent check. And so the IRS and regulators are asking the question, why is it that the issuing institution and obviously the tax preparation agency using that institution didn't ask more questions to verify these persons' identity? So it's a significantly complicated form of fraud. It's a problem that's going to be very hard to solve, and it's causing an impact on our businesses, on our government, and on taxpayers in a number of difficult and complicated ways.